Man, I just keep dropping gem after gem after gem on you suckers. And so many of you, all you do is get triggered. But maybe that is the point. Anyway, I got a lot of excellent comments and one superb channel recommendation on my last video. So thank you, all of you, for contributing, even if you just got triggered and blathered some stuff that you heard somewhere else and felt compelled to repeat. That's great. Thanks for proving my point, helping me help you. Thank you for giving me video material, helping me grow, and let's continue the apocalypse, the awakening. Discourse. I dropped discourse on you in my last video, but not in the usual way, just by using it to denote some sort of conversation reasoning, right? I told you, pay attention. Little do you know, and perhaps some of you do, we speak in the coded language. Now, Marxists push this sort of thing also, but this is way older than them. After all, Marx was a Freemason, okay? Discourse. How many of you, after I said that word and asked you to go look it up if you feel like it, actually went and looked it up? Did you go look it up? Or did you just engage in it? Discourse. Without even thinking about what's actually being said in the video. Discourse. Process of understanding, reasoning, thought. From French, discourse. From Latin, discursus. Or running about. To run about. Run to and fro. Right? Run in circles, basically. Yeah? Run about with like a chicken with your head cut off. To keep you off course. Of course. Discourse. So that you never find your way. They want you engaging in discourses so that you never find your way. Discourse is a way of controlling the conversation within. This is just my interpretation, very simplified. Okay, you could find a lot that's written about discourse, probably for the same reason, to keep you off course. But it's a way of compartmentalizing philosophy, to put it simply. It's a way of confining any particular conversation within certain bounds, using also coded language, by preventing some people from even engaging in the discourse in the first place. This sort of thing, when people say, we are all Marxists, people. That's how deeply ingrained this philosophy is. And nobody knows it. That is the devil that Jordan Peterson talks about. And he probably doesn't even know it. Discourse. It's when people say, are you a doctor? Why do you talk about doctoring? Why do you talk about doctor things? Are you a doctor? Right? That's discourse. Legalese has, it's a certain coded language, right? Every discipline, they have their own terminology that the regular person may not understand, or you literally have to learn a different language to talk to a doctor, to talk to a lawyer, to talk to any individual from any specific field, right? That's discourse. certain things you're not allowed to say as a politician, for example, right? You have to talk a certain way. And it seems like, especially these days, you have to say Black Lives Matter, or at the very least. You can't even not say anything about that, right? Discourse. By compartmentalizing philosophy, postmodernism rejects meta-narratives. Do any of you remember my conversation with Ask Yourself, or any conversation he's ever had with someone who wanted to talk about meta-ethics? He avoids that like a fire, like the plague. Why? Because he's a Marxist. He's a postmodernist. Veganism is Marxism, people. They don't want to talk about meta-narratives because that will expose them for the nonsense that they speak. So, like that video I made about these two guys debating whether or not they should keep the statues or take them down, right? Stuck in a certain discourse that was already defined by someone else. When the meta-narrative was, history doesn't care about your feelings. The meta-narrative was, if you're a moral subjectivist, what are you doing telling people what is or isn't morally correct when you believe it's up to them, right? Meta-narratives expose the nonsense. That's why postmodernists want you stuck in a discourse within neatly defined boundaries with coded language and things you can or cannot say to keep you off course, running around in circles like a chicken with your head cut off, chasing your own damn tail. How do you run to and from something at the same time? Exactly. Discourse. So, the thing about Jordan Peterson, the most important thing from that video should have been this. This discourse. This. How the trick that the devil pulled that Jordan Peterson was talking about. But, and look, as soon as I said his name, I knew that people were going to get triggered, and I kind of helped it along a little bit by calling you geniuses. I triggered the discourse, right? What's the discourse? You either love Jordan Peterson and you believe everything he says because you're not actually thinking about what it is that he's saying. He's just using certain kind of language, some kind of heuristics, some kind of, I haven't quite put my finger on it yet, but some kind of a trick that makes him appear a genius by saying the most obvious stuff, making these certain connections for people. And that hypnotizes some people while making others, because they do get hypnotized by it, but eventually come to realize that, but this is so simple. This is so matter of fact. Of course, he's saying obvious things. So they see through that and then they dismiss everything else he says because they feel like, I don't know, it's just so simple. But the discourse, for whatever reason, I haven't quite put my finger on it. And this is the case with a lot of people. With Jordan Peterson is either you love him or you hate him, right? Either you take everything on board, along with mostly BS. So the nuggets, the gems that he drops get lost in the haze, or you completely reject them along with the nuggets, the gems, the gold that he drops. Okay? That's the discourse. I got all these people coming around saying that he's controlled opposition that's out of control due to his drug use, right? Okay. Which is it, buddy? Is he controlled or is he out of control? Or maybe his programming is faltering, right? Maybe he needed to be reprogrammed, if you do believe that, right? Like, kind of what happened to Kanye West. Maybe kind of like what happened to Dave Chappelle, right? There was a wire cross, something had happened. Maybe he took too many drugs or not enough, and his programming short-circuited, and he said some things he shouldn't have said because he is an insider, because he knows how the game works, because he felt guilty, because there is a semblance of a good person somewhere in there. And he put out there what he put out there, telling you the truth amidst all the bullshit. Because his programming faltered, because someone crossed some wires, because he felt guilty, because it's a way for the devil to confess some things, or someone who has been possessed by the devil to confess some things in hopes of salvation. I don't know. That's not the point. The point is to see the meta-narrative, because postmodernists hate meta-narratives, so that's how you defeat them. By exposing the meta-narrative, which is Marxism, postmodernism. Get it? Got it? I hope so. Anyway, I really appreciate all of your comments. I really do. They really help me see what's going on, and I hope you start to see what's going on too. So just because people get so easily triggered and they think that they're saying something worthwhile, when in reality you're just repeating something somebody else said, because you're supposed to be chasing your damn tail, people. Okay? We gotta do better than that, people. We gotta do way better than that. Thank you for watching. Take care.